go get them again.
Welcome back to the Robezoid channel. I'm your host, Mark, and on the docket today, we have an unboxing first impression video on the brand of Viktor Rolf, and as you can see, it is the Spicebomb lineup. I have my collection right here. Yes, I stopped a while ago collecting these, but we have a newbie here, infrared eau de toilette, so the one that started the infrared lineup. Yes, it already has a flanker. Yes, I'm super late on this one. I haven't smelt anything beyond these three. I haven't even touched the green ones. There's a new Spicebomb coming up. We're going to talk about that. But this one right here, the eau de toilette, was highly discounted a few years back when I got it. Mine was at, actually, I have the stickers here. The shopper's sticker here is $115 Canadian for 50 mils. That's how expensive fragrances are in the designer realm. But it was discounted at like 70 bucks. And I noticed in the US and in Canada, this thing was highly discounted at that section, like a few years back. Like everybody was discounting it. You almost felt like this thing was gonna get discontinued. It wasn't selling. So they didn't have a tester. This was actually the last sealed box of it. So I just snatched it, just kind of thinking, yeah, I should probably start collecting these again. And at that price, I was like, yeah, that's almost discount or rate, basically, if I went to a Fragrance Net X or something like that. And I honestly thought they were going to ditch the infrared line, and they're just like, this isn't working. We're going to go back to something else. But yeah, they released an EDP of this stuff, apparently. Now, talking about new Spicebombs, let's talk about it. The new Spicebomb that is hitting the market shortly is called Dark Leather. And we all know influencers are going to be jumping on that. That is going to be a highly sought after designer release. These Spicebombs, get your hits ready. Influencers are going to buy it from Europe before it comes to the US. You know how it is. And then they're going to blow it up like it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Definitely, if you're new to this hobby, this is the rinse and repeat from influencers. You gotta, like, they think everything that's new is going to get love. So you got to keep your hand on the pulse. You don't need to buy brand new releases. You know, if you got like 2 or 3 fragrances, why are you going to overpay? You're going to pay for something that's brand new, and then it's going to hit discounters, and it's going to be less and less. The more it's on the market, it's going to be less and less. So think about it. Now, I love my original trifecta of Spicebombs. I'm not saying they can do no wrong, but honestly, all of these are very solid. Like, there's nothing here that, pun intended, blows me away. It's good. It's a solid designer, and that's all you really can ask for a designer release. Viktor Rolf has a really good track record. They don't release too much. Antidote was an excellent Viktor Rolf that got discontinued. But yeah, this lineup from the original to the extreme, even this fresh one, which is hard to find, discontinued, but an excellent take on the Spicebomb DNA. So all 3 of these I really, really liked. They all bring a little something to the table, but with the same idea. I stopped collecting these once the Night Visions came in, those green bottles, which I heard was off the path of this, and I'm not a big fan of that. So it's been like a long, long time. I haven't smelt those. I haven't smelt these reds, so I can't wait to see what they have here. And maybe I'll get the EDP of this and then maybe go back and get the greens so I can finish basically the lineup. But that leather one, just with the name leather, you know me, I'm a sucker for leather. I'm not anticipating fireworks here, but it could be a solid designer release, kind of like these. So it's kind of funny, like a collector like me with YouTube channel and all that, you would think I'd be like, you know, it's almost like clockwork, but I don't work that way in regards to buying things. But yeah, as a collector, you only kind of go in and out of fragrance brands. I usually do that. So it's kind of funny looking at the line now and going, wow, this was really solid. Like, what kind of happened to Spicebomb, and just kind of see where it is several years later. And I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, let's see. So this one right here, let's take a look at the notes first and foremost. So they're right beside me here. As I can tell here, red was big. Like, I was thinking like polo red, things like that. Brands were going with these red berries, and it's like really all that kind of stuff was really synthetic. I've never really met the red berry designer release that had red in the name, kind of, which was really, really nice. Now, they're utilizing Pimento, so we might be seeing, what's that fragrance from Angel Men? Taste of Fragrance, that utilized red chili it's actually a really underrated Mugler Amen flanker. It was one that got kind of panned, but I liked that one. They have this standard red berry here, probably, you know, grapefruit, red apple, things like that. They have habanero chili in here in the note breakdown. So you're kind of seeing, you know, this red theme. Now, before we unbox, honestly, if you haven't subscribed, hey, I really appreciate it if you hit that sub button. Smash that like button. I really appreciate it. This is, of course, an honest take from a collector that has a YouTube channel. I don't go like this is not a business for me, and that's probably a good reason to subscribe, is just, I can pan fragrances like this. I'll tell you my real thoughts on them. I'm not like, you know, fireworks coming out right when it releases. It's amazing, compliment getter, beast mode, get it now. I just, you know, I just love kind of doing these things. So yeah, definitely, if you can support me, I really, really appreciate it. All right, it's time to unbox this one. Released back in 2021, so it's not too old. It's got a few years behind it. Nose triple-headed threat. We have some names that we have seen in the past. All-Star Perfumiers here. Carlos Benim, Nicolas Beaulieu, and Jean-Christophe Hérault. So really established noses. Every time you see more than one nose, you're starting to kind of think something went wrong, or the brief just, it just wasn't hitting right. Like three noses, I don't know. Sometimes you kind of just think that way, and I might be wrong. So this is my first 50 mil. Oh, my hands look huge. Insert joke here. Yeah, that is a tiny bottle. Tiny bottle. Look at this thing. It's so cute. Yeah, I've always had the big Spicebomb bottles. As you can see, red gradient, black to red gradient. It says infrared in here, so not bad. Let's go on strip first, and then we're gonna put on skin. Of course, it's gonna be my scent of the day today. Let's delve into it. Let's see what Spicebomb Infrared Eau de Toilette, the original, does for me. Atomizer, not too bad. Let's see what we get off strip. Yeah, it's Spicebomb-esque. You're getting that spice, cinnamon. Oh, that cinnamon is piquant. Okay, so it has, it makes me think of those cinnamon hearts from Valentine's Day. Yeah, that's exactly where it goes. So that cinnamon is more on the real spicy side. Kind of think like that cinnamon gum, kind of, but it has an artificial sweetness to it. Very much has that spice, that DNA that you're getting from Spicebomb. It really has that. I would wear this the same way I would wear those. Now, I don't know if this is an improvement. I don't think it is. I like all of these for their specifics. This is not straying away from it too much. I think it's gonna be like one of those that I'm gonna not learn to love, but I'm gonna like it, but it's not a standout. Like, it has that spiciness, that red chili pepper that that the Mugler has, the taste of fragrance. I mean, it just brings me to that, like, very artificial spiciness, but still nice. But it has that red hot cinnamon at the same time. There's a synthetic, I wouldn't call this fruity, but there's a fruity aspect that gives it a little bit of the sweetness, but it's not. I think that's the red apple. That's what I'm getting out of the note breakdown. I think that's what I'm getting. Not the greatest, but the cinnamon, a little bit of, I don't know, like, it's very warm, inviting, comforting. Those are things that are coming to play, but it has that little air of, I don't know, kind of like, I hate to say it, but kind of like a generic kind of feel. Like, it has that Spicebomb quality, if you know what I mean. So it's not like a polo red or something like that that's really artificial fruity kind of thing. No, that's not the That's not the central theme. It is definitely the spices. There's that warmth from the cinnamon, the spices. The tobacco's coming in. There is some sweetness here, vanillic sweetness, but the fruity sweetness is what's kind of hurting it, I think. The red apple. Yeah. The blending's okay. Like there's some scratchiness there that I'm feeling. Like that red vibe is trying to meld with the original DNA, and it's kind of not playing nice in the sandbox. So there is some, to me, there's some scratchiness there. It kind of reminds me a little bit like, this would be great for fall, winter. Again, obviously with the description I'm giving you, very much a darker release. Lots of cinnamon in here. It has that Burberry London vibes. Burberry London for Men, which is really a cheapie, which is one that I actually kind of like. So it has some good pieces here. I think it's the red apple synthetic vibe that I'm getting out of this that I'm not liking. Which again, usually I like, kind of like a fruity aspect added. I think there's a little bit, is there saffron in the note breakdown? I think so. A little bit of pecan like that. Okay, so at the end of the day, a good release. Definitely not gonna poo-poo it. I don't think it's as smooth as these. These don't have their rough edges. And you'll kind of know what I mean with designer fragrances, that sometimes just the whole idea is just not meshing. These have that smoothness to them, and I don't mean it's a smooth fragrance, they're spicy. But, you know, even this one, like almost watered down version, it still works well. These are exactly what designer fragrances should smell like to me. There's nothing too crazy here. The quality's there. You're paying, you know, pretty good price, you know, 115 Canadian. Oh, the sticker's gone. 115 Canadian for 50 mil. Whew, that's a tough sell. But for these, that's an all right sell, right? The pricing is what it is. This has like, I feel like the red version, and the spiciness is not too crazy. Like the pimento, I feel like the cinnamon hearts that you get from Valentine's is that red thing that I like, but I think they added too much in here. The red apple, you know, they're putting I don't get any other fruity nuances. Thank God. At least for now. The cinnamon is dominant. Definitely. There's a little bit of that tobacco coming in. Very warm, very comforting, you know, great to wear with a sweater. I could see this around Christmas time, you know, Burberry London-esque, not as, I feel like Burberry London has its screechy parts, but overall, you know, what you're paying for it, it's a solid release, and I feel like this is its competition, which is not a new idea. Again, it doesn't have that port wine. It doesn't have a lot of things that Burberry London has, but I feel like that's the competition. In a lesser version, Mugler Taste of a Fragrance that has that sweet, spicy thing going on, kind of with some darkness. It has a little bit of powdery aspects here. I don't know if there's tonka bean in here, but there is a little bit of powderiness I'm getting out of this. Again, solid. Not great. And again, like this is my, you know, this is a great example of a solid designer release that isn't a 10 out of 10. It's not gonna, you know, some people call this a classic. Arguably, I could see some people like fairly new to the game when they first released this. I could see that. For me, it's just a solid release, like a good 9 out of 10 if I'm giving it like a really good designer release, worth the price. Same with this. This is a very solid flanker right here. The fresher version didn't sell well, discontinued, but still something that I really liked having. I felt like the build of it was good. And those are things as a reviewer I'm looking at. Here there's, I think there's too much going on. Maybe there's too many, you know, chefs in the kitchen here with 3 heads in here. Maybe they said not red enough. Maybe, you know, they started adding more things. You know, I feel like the pimento, if that was amped up, get rid of the fruitiness. And I understand the fruitiness, it's for the younger generation. I feel that kind of, it's okay. Like it's not bad, like it's not synthetically bad. And I'm like, oh. No, because the rest of the build is really good. But there's some disconnect here. And I feel like the pimento would have really made this. I don't think it would have been a really good seller, honestly, if you got rid of that. But it's in that realm of Burberry Londonish. And I don't know where you want to go with that. Like, you think that's worth it or not, that's up to you. To me, it's a solid release. I think it's a step down from these three, personally, for now. Again, it's just an unboxing. You never know. But a good release. Nothing that I would say, don't get it, forget it. It's not good enough. I don't know. Like, this is, again, like collector-wise, like how many Spice Bombs do you need in your collection, right? You know, I feel like you got better things to offer here. I know these are harder to find. Like this one's still around, kicking around. I would suggest this. If you didn't have any of them and you're asking me, I would go with the original. It's good. It does what it does. This one, and it's got some interesting parts, right? You're just like on the fence. Hey, and there's unboxings like that. That's what you're gonna get on my channel, right? There's gonna be the trash bin ones that'll be like, that's trash. It doesn't even matter about the price. Like, I'm gonna trash niche fragrances as much as I would designers. I'm always looking at fragrances in my scope, and I don't care, it's my channel. I'll say really bad things. I'll say it's garbage. I'll say it's just okay. It's not a sexy fragrance review when a fragrance reviewer just says, meh, it's good, it's okay. You know, it would be maybe something I would recommend, like if somebody's looking for like red fragrances, yeah, it might be on the short list. Go check it out. It's okay. Yeah, it's good. Now, that's sure my take. I'd love to see yours in the comments below. Again, this has been out for a while. And for that short while, I think a lot of people snatched it when it was like super discounted. I don't know what happened in that little area, like 6 months or so, like that Spicebomb Infrared EDT was just at super discounts, like everywhere. They just wanted to get rid of it. And then all of a sudden, you know, that was gone. So I don't know what happened, and I'm sure a lot of people purchased it just for that, which I guess is a good price. Like me, $70 Canadian, you're not even gonna see, well, maybe a Viktor and Rolf at discounters, like Fragrance Buy and that. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think they go that low. I'm thinking they're around $80, $90 Canadian, maybe, give or take. So, you know, I think I got a pretty good price on it. Yeah, I'll enjoy this one, but it's mostly made for fall and winter. So I can't wait to see what your thoughts are. You know, a lot of people probably smelt this, good or bad. Absolutely love it. What do you think of these? Never travel with these, by the way. Not a good idea. But yeah, as always, a great pour fragrance will make a lasting impression. Choose your scent wisely. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Have a good one.